The sky above the Zyrax's royal palace glowed with purple fire as the evening sun slowly dipped behind the mountains. Guards stood on every tower, their silver armor shining in the fading light. Everything was calm until the first alarm screamed. A red streak cut across the sky. A small human shuttle, damaged and burning, rushed toward the palace landing platform. Guards instantly raised their weapons. "Unknown ship approaching," one guard shouted. Inside the grand palace, the alien queen stepped out onto her balcony. Her tall figure, covered in royal green scales, shone under the sky. Her wings opened wide, showing her power. She stared at the falling ship, her eyes full of suspicion. "No one dares enter my skies without permission," she growled. The shuttle hit the platform hard, metal screeching. Sparks flew. Smoke covered everything. The guards formed a circle, ready to fire. From the smoke, a human stepped out. His clothes were torn, face covered in dust, and he held something in his arms, a small bundle wrapped in a glowing blue blanket. The guards froze. The man looked weak but determined. He held the bundle close to his chest like something precious. He didn't speak. He just waited. Then another figure stepped out behind him. A tall alien woman with silver scales, long dark hair, and bright green eyes. Her steps were slow, tired, but full of hidden strength. The queen's heart stopped. Her breath caught in her chest. Her wings trembled. It was her daughter, the lost princess, the exile, the one who ran away years ago and never returned. The queen whispered, voice shaking, "My child." The princess bowed her head. "Mother." The guards lowered their weapons a little, shocked and confused. The queen took one step forward, then stopped again as she noticed a glowing blanket in the human's arms. Her eyes narrowed. "What is that?" she demanded. The human slowly pulled the blanket down. Inside was a sleeping baby. But not just any baby. A small child with soft human skin, tiny glowing horns, and little wings pressed against her back. A hybrid. Royal blood mixed with human blood. The entire palace gasped. Guards looked at each other, stunned. The queen's face changed. Anger, fear, disbelief, everything mixed together. Her voice broke as she stared at the baby's glowing eyes, the same shade as her own. She took another step closer, her hand shaking. Is this my granddaughter?" she whispered. The princess nodded silently. The queen almost fell back, unable to breathe. She had prepared herself for betrayal, for anger, for conflict, but not for this. Not for a child. Not for a future she never expected. The human held the baby gently, protecting her. The princess moved closer to him, touching his arm like a silent promise. The queen stared at them, her lost daughter, a human son-in-law, and a royal hybrid child. A forbidden family. And suddenly the queen felt something she had not felt in many years. Fear. Because she knew the entire empire would not accept this child. And danger was already on its way. The queen stood frozen on the landing platform, unable to take her eyes off the hybrid child. The baby blinked softly, giving a small yawn, unaware that her very existence could shake an empire. "Bring them inside," the queen finally commanded, her voice hard but trembling. Guards opened the great palace doors, unsure whether to salute the princess or point their weapons at the human. The air felt heavy. Every step echoed through the silent halls. Inside the throne room, the queen sat tall and firm on her golden seat. The princess stood before her, holding the human's hand tightly. The child slept peacefully in his arms, glowing horns faintly shining. The queen looked at her daughter first. "Why did you run away?" she asked softly, but her eyes were sharp. The princess swallowed. "Because I loved someone, mother, someone you would never accept." The queen's eyes drifted to the human. He stood straight but tired, his voice calm. "I never wanted to take her from her family, but she was hurt. She crashed near my colony. I helped her heal." He paused, and she chose to stay. The queen narrowed her eyes. "And the child?" The princess lifted her chin. "She is ours. She is royal. She is family." The queen looked at the child again, and something in her expression softened. But only for a moment, because deep in her heart, she felt fear. A hybrid child meant political chaos. Rebels, old noble houses, even rival species. Everyone would see the baby as a threat. The queen asked a question she truly wanted answered. Did anyone follow you? The princess stepped back nervously. We tried to hide. But the human's face changed. He looked away, just for a second. The queen saw it. You are hiding something, she snapped. The human hesitated. His hands tightened around the blanket. Finally, in a low voice, he spoke. They found us 3 days ago. The princess's eyes widened. You didn't tell me. I didn't want to scare you, he whispered. We were close to the palace. I thought we could reach here before they caught up. Who found you? The queen demanded. The human pulled a small silver device from his pocket. Its center blinked red, slow, sharp, dangerous. A rebel clan, he said. The ones who believe hybrids will destroy the bloodline. They attacked us. We escaped, but he looked at the blinking light. This tracker, they placed it on our ship. Silence turned to pure fear. The queen stood instantly, her wings spreading wide in alarm. You led rebels to my palace? To my throne? To my people? The human didn't step back. We had no choice. They wanted the baby. The queen's eyes focused on the blinking device. Red light, red danger, red signal. The palace shields trembled for a moment, barely noticeable. But the queen noticed. Her voice dropped to a whisper. They are already here. The queen's heart hammered in her chest. The blinking tracker in the human's hand flashed faster. Outside the tall windows, the palace's blue shields flickered again, just for a second, but enough to confirm her fear. The rebels had already found them. She stepped down from her throne, wings half open, her voice low and urgent. We must move. Now. Guards rushed in from both sides. The princess held the human's arm tightly, panic rising in her eyes. The hybrid baby sensed the fear and began to whimper softly. The queen kneeled beside her daughter and touched the baby's tiny wing. Quiet now, little one. You're safe, she whispered, though she knew safety was slipping away fast. They moved through the long palace hallway. Every torch flickered, every shadow felt dangerous. The queen kept glancing at the human, studying him more closely. He moved with purpose, checking corners, mapping escape routes in his mind. He wasn't just a simple husband. He had training, something he had not told them yet. But the queen had no time to question him now. As they entered the inner chamber, a loud boom shook the palace. Dust fell from the ceiling. Young guards stumbled as the floor trembled under their feet. An alarm screamed through the halls. Breach at the east gate. Unknown forces entering. The queen's blood ran cold. The princess gasped. They came for the child. The human stepped in front of them, placing himself between the rebels and his family. I will protect her. I will protect all of you. The princess grabbed his sleeve. Please don't leave me. He looked back at her gently. I'm not leaving. Another explosion echoed. The chamber doors bent inward, metal warping from heavy impact. Weapons clattered outside. The rebels were close, too close. The queen lifted her daughter's chin, forcing her to meet her eyes. You once ran away from me, she said softly. But I never stopped loving you. I pushed you too hard because I was afraid of losing you. The princess's eyes filled with tears. Mother, you gave me a granddaughter, the queen whispered, voice cracking. I cannot lose her. I cannot lose you. Before the princess could answer, the chamber doors blasted open. Rebels poured in, dark armor, glowing red weapons, eyes full of hatred. One of them screamed, The hybrid child weakens us. Take her. The queen didn't think. She didn't react like a ruler. She reacted like a mother. With a roar that shook the golden walls, she spread her wings wide and stood in front of her daughter, the human husband, and the baby. You will not touch my blood, she thundered. Her voice echoed with power. The rebels hesitated. For the first time, they saw fear in the queen's eyes. Not fear of them, but fear of losing her family. The human stepped beside her, weapon in hand. The princess held the baby close. The rebels charged, and the queen charged back. The battle for the royal family had begun. The rebels stormed into the chamber like a black wave. Their red weapons glowed, ready to fire. The queen, standing tall with her wings spread wide, roared so loudly that the torches on the walls flickered. The human husband stepped forward too, holding a small human device, old, scratched, but powerful. The princess clutched the hybrid baby to her chest, trying to shield her tiny body from the danger. The rebels shouted again, "Kill the human! Take the child!" Their footsteps echoed as they charged. The queen moved first. With a swift strike of her wings, she knocked 3 rebels into the wall. Sparks flew as armor hit stone. She fought with the strength of an entire army, but she was outnumbered. The human activated his device. A burst of blue shockwave shot out, knocking several rebels down. He held his ground, refusing to step back even as the enemy fired at him. The princess cried out, "Careful!" But he didn't stop. He would rather die than let them reach the baby. Still, there were too many rebels. They kept coming. One broke past the queen's wing, another dodged a human shockwave, a third came from side. They were getting closer. Too close. The princess pressed the baby against her chest. "Please, please stay safe," she whispered, voice breaking. And then, everything changed. The baby opened her glowing eyes. 2 bright colors, one human warm gold, one alien royal blue, swirled inside them. She looked around at the fear, the danger, the chaos. Her little wings twitched. The air shifted. A soft humming sound filled the chamber, like a heartbeat, like a star waking up. Then the hybrid baby raised a tiny hand. A pulse of bright blue-white energy burst from her body. The shockwave filled the entire room, gentle, warm, powerful. Every rebel weapon shut down instantly. Every red glowing blade turned dark. Every mask cracked. Every enemy soldier fell to their knees, unable to move. But none of the royal guards were harmed. And her family, the queen, the princess, and the human, felt only warmth. The baby giggled softly. The queen stayed, her mouth open in shock. Impossible, only a pure royal can control life energy like this. The princess whispered, tears falling. "She is more than royal. Mother, she is both worlds." The human held his wife's hand, stunned and speechless. Slowly, the queen stepped forward. She kneeled in front of the baby. A queen, kneeling. Her voice was soft and full of awe. "Little one, you saved us. You saved the empire." The baby touched the queen's face with a tiny hand. A blue spark glowed on her skin. The queen closed her eyes, feeling peace and power together. When she looked up, she faced the human. For the first time, there was no anger, no suspicion, no fear, only respect. "You protected my daughter," she said quietly. "You risked your life for my granddaughter, and you stood beside me in battle." She bowed her head slightly. "I accept you as family." The princess broke into tears and hugged her mother. The human wrapped his arms around both of them. The queen placed her hands on the child's tiny wings. Outside, the rising sun lit the palace. A new dawn, a new bloodline, a new legend. The royal family of 2 worlds, united forever.